What's up everyone, my name is Arctic and welcome to another episode of Titanfall Tips and Tactics. In this video I'll be providing tactical info on the active radar pulse ability. It's the third and final tactical ability and unlocks at level 19. When activated, the active radar essentially acts as a wall hack ability. It allows its users to see enemy players, grunts, specters, titans, basically everything through walls for a short period of time. It does take a while to adjust to the HUD change once you have it activated, so just be cautious of that if you feel like you want to test it out. You got to kind of get used to it. Now, as for tactical uses, the active radar pulse does have a number of advantages. It allows you to see enemy locations so you can prep yourself for firefights and engagements. This inadvertently also improves the viability of your ordnance. Those are grenades and the mines and the satchel charges, because you can see where players are coming from. You can kind of throw set nades or set your mines up so they hit them as they come around a corner or enter a doorway, something like that. They can also be used to, if you're an offensive player, to clear out hard defensive players. So those are guys that are sitting right at the flag room or right in a hard point area. Those two specifically, it really helps kind of see where they are. If they're running cloak, then you might have to kind of wait, which we'll kind of get into here in a bit. And it also allows players to take the path less traveled. So you can kind of be a sneaky beaver if you want to use the active radar pulse kind of in the same ways that you would think to use cloak. You can kind of use the active radar pulse to avoid enemy players and kind of sneak up on locations. And obviously it's a great defensive ability, especially if you have guys that are either A, running active radar pulse against you, or B, using the stem, which seems to be the frequently used ability for like a flag or even hardpoint at times. But on occasion you'll run into some people running that cloak, and that's where things can get a little tricky. And we'll get into that here shortly. Now for tier kit 1 and weapon pairing, I have three favorites here: Power Cell, which I think you guys have heard a couple episodes now, Run and Gun, and Quick Reload. I love the Power Cell if I'm playing defense and I need to quickly use that active radar to see where enemies are coming from and what areas I need to kind of set up for defense. Run and Gun I use as an offensive tactic with it, as do I do the same thing with Quick Reload. And those are basically SMG style gameplay. Quick Reload, I'm really using that if I'm grunt farming and I happen to get into an engagement where I'm grunt farming, and then I might not have enough bullets in my chamber to finish off another guy, and then I have to reload and kind of deal with that. And I've had that happen a couple times, but I'd say Power Cell and probably Quick Reload are my two favorites there. Weapons, I use Carbine, SMG, and the car SMG. I've also used Shotgun with active radar pulse. Sniper is I wouldn't use it there. Smart Pistol can work, but I think that the HUD kind of interferes with that lock-on that you get with using the Smart Pistol. So use that at your own risk. Now one thing with the Carbine, or any weapon in general, I'm going to say SMG there as well, if you want to use a suppressor, you should probably play offense. That's what I typically do. If I want to use the active radar pulse and use an offensive playstyle, I'm going to use the suppressor because I'm going to get a jump on people regardless, and I don't want people to be notified of where I am. So that's generally how I pair my tier kit and weapons with active radar pulse. Now for personal playstyle recommendations, I think the active radar pulse really shines for defensive minded individuals. It's great for trying to control an area. I want to stress that it's really great for trying to control an area. So if you're playing hardpoint or capture the flag, defensive minded players can really lock down an area because they'll know where people are coming into a point to contest. It can also be used offensively, but you have to think about this. If you're running from A to B and you're constantly, or C to or B to C, and you're constantly using that active radar pulse as you're traveling towards those, then by the time you get there, you're not going to really use it at all, right? It's going to be used up. So if you're playing offensively, you want to use it as you get to a point, as you get to a flag, as you get to an objective, to kind of see what is going on. You don't really want to use it too much in between those areas unless that is your role on the team. So if you're trying to be the guy that's kind of taking pilots out, keeping out of the way of Titans, then you kind of want to position yourself where you're going to get a lot of foot traffic, and that's really important with the active radar pulse because you're going to get the jump on people. So you want to position yourself where players are going to be the most, not Titans, players. Now for for capture the flag, I am typically playing hard defense or mid D. I use it quite a bit when I'm running car SMG. I play quite aggressively, so I'll typically run at players or set myself up so I can cut players off, and that's how you want to kind of play flag. And the reason I'm typically playing aggressively is because if I get the jump on them and I happen to die, let's say they kill me, then I respawn in a location where, okay, I know their last known position, and I can still get back to the flag before they get a touch. Now, if they kill me as I'm in the flag room when I'm playing hard defense and I die, that means when I respawn, I might not be in a position to cut them off. So it kind of gives me two opportunities to play, kind of a defensive stance. And then I can make call outs to my teammates if I die and we have a guy playing hard D. So that's kind of how I play with my playstyle. Again, I told you guys my weapons. I'm typically using car SMG. Carbine I'll use depending on the map. If I have active radar pulse, for example, Nexus, I don't find very good for the SMGs, typically because you have so much building on building action. It's like cross the map crossfire, so it's not very good in those situations, and the active radar pulse isn't going to help you that much. If they're out of range of it, you pretty much have wasted your ability, so you might as well use either stem or cloak depending on the map. So it can be CQC dependent, again, because there's that range on the active radar pulse. And then the last major tip, I think most of you guys know this, is that you cannot see enemy players when they've activated the cloak ability. So if you're playing hard defense with that ability, be wary of cloak flag runners or objective players that use that on hardpoint, for example. I don't really use it too much on pilot hunter. I think cloak or stem work better in those situations, but they can be used there. I just think that sometimes the grunt stuff kind of confuses players. So that's all I got for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure to give the video a like, and if you guys really enjoy my tips and tactics series, be sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss any more. Check out those vids. Peace.